Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says here to the Yahud again, أَتَأْمُرُونَ النَّاسَ بِالْبِرِّ. Basically, these Yahud, they used to ask people for the good deeds. Ajib. They do this, do that. وَتَنْسَوْنَ أَنفُسَكُمْ. But they forget themselves. They do not follow, but ask people to follow. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, is Hamza istifham. Remember? Ta'muruna. So you order, do you order an-nasa, the people, bil birri, ba fajar birri majrur, bil birri. The right things, righteousness, the good thing. So do you ask people, or do you tell people, or do you order people to do good deeds? Wa and tansawna, you forgot anfusakum, yourself. Yani you do not follow. Asking people to do this, do that, but you are not following. Wa antum, and antum, you, tatluna, recite al-kitaba, the book. And you recite the book, yani you know the book, you know the ahkam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and asking people for the good deeds, but you are not following. Afala taqilun. Again, there is istifham. Fala taqilun. You don't have the sense or aqal, the reasons. So what are you doing this? You recite the book and you know the hukam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and asking people to do good deeds, but you are not following yourself, forgetting yourself. So that was one of the problem for Yahud too. Again, I'm going to say here, even though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to the Yahud, but to us as well. To us as well. So it is our big responsibility that if we recite the book, I can say here the Quran, for example, if we know the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and ahkam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we do not follow, but asking people to follow it. Let's say I ask people, okay, go brothers and perform the salah, and then people are going to the masjid, but I'm not going, I'm sitting, I'm talking. So I should go first, so people will follow me. If I want to ask something, I have to follow first, and then ask people to follow me. If I do not follow the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and asking people, maybe today you listen to me, tomorrow and after tomorrow say, why? He's not following and asking us to do, so you may not follow in future. It is a very big responsibility that we have to practice first, then we ask better. Now, some people raise the issue here that, for example, we know that these are the important things. We should ask people to do this, but the problem is this: we do not follow. So should still we tell people this Amar bil Maruf or not? Understand? In other words, we can say Amar bil Maruf is very important. Okay, for Amar bil Maruf, then you have to follow first, and then you ask people. Okay, that's clear from this ayah. And now, for example, if we are not following, okay, the Ma'ruf, should we ask people or not? Because we know that, let's say the example, that the prayer is very important in the first and obligatory. But unfortunately, we do not pray. Okay, it is a sin, committing sin. Now, can I advise someone to pray or not? That's the question. Because I'm not praying, can I advise to others or not? Because I fear that if I ask someone to pray, people will accuse me. You are not praying, why are you asking us to pray? You know, that's the question. Answer is that doesn't matter if we follow or not, But for the truth, we have to ask others. It is the sin to not to, yeah, we are not following. This is the one sin. But the other thing, which is Amar bil Maruf, we have to ask others. Doesn't matter we are practicing or not. We are practicing Muslim or not. But we can ask others. You understand? So that is the beauty of this ummah. It is the beauty of this ummah, Amar bil Maruf. But highly recommended, it is highly recommended, if you want, if people will follow you, people will listen to you, of course, then you have to practice first. You must be upfront. But because of laziness or because of other, things, you are not following, not practicing basically, but you can ask people. Similarly, if a person, you got the bad habit, drinks alcohol, committing other sins, doing bad, isn't it? Now the other people are involved as well, the same sin. So should he stop others or not? He think because I am involved in this sin, so if I stop others, so people won't listen to me, and then not stopping others. Now our duty is, we are committing sin. Just of course we have to avoid, but we should stop anyway. Doesn't matter we avoid or not, but we have to say the truth. Yes, brother, it is haram. Do not drink. I give you another example. Usually an interest. Some person is involved in it, in riba system, but other people are doing same thing. So can this person stop others or not? Yes, he can, he should. And he should make tawbah for his sin, but he should stop anyway. What will happen if we do not stop, because thinking and believing that because I am committing this sin, how come I am stopping others? What will happen? Then maybe the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ghadab of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala come. This ghadab will destroy everyone, me and others. That's why our responsibility to stop people. And at the other hand, we try our level best to change ourselves. You understand? But this ayah doesn't mean that because you are not performing the salah, so that's why you cannot ask to others. No, you should ask. You should ask for the good deeds to others. Okay, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says after this, وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ, and ista'inu, seek help, bis-sabri, jar majroor. So with sabr, with patience. So get the help. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help. How? With the prayers, with the salah. Subhanallah. So if you have any problem, any difficulties, pray 2 rakah. As Salatul Hajjah, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help us, inshallah. And this is called Salatul Hajjah. About the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, anything happened, so he wants Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so bahadara ila salah. He was so hurried to the salah and then perform the salah. So now we can get or seek help by performing the salah. Okay? So when you perform the salah, so basically we become so close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then when we close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the most merciful, He is Ar-Rahman, He is Ar-Rahim, He will listen to us. Okay? So, وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ. Any problem, any trial, any difficulties, 2 rakah salah, make dua. And sometime you want to do the istikhara, for example, some business or for other purpose, you want to make the decision right now. You do not find anyone to get some mashwara, suggestion, and now the challenge is there, whether you go ahead or not. Something happen like this. So in that case, make wudu, say 2 rakah, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in own words. If you know the Arabic dua, say it, otherwise say in own words. Oh Allah, in this deal, if is there any khair for me, make it easy for me and accept for me, or make it happen for me. But if there is any problem or difficulties or any fitna for me or any trial, Allah, then make me away from this thing and this thing away from me, and give me some other alternate. It's in onwards. And then see, because of this salah and this dua, and what will happen to you, there will be khair for you anyway. You by heart you want to happen, but it not happen, you have to believe that this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no khair. That's why it did not happen. Okay, so that's the beauty of salah. So one of the things is this, we can get help by performing the salah. Bisabri was salah, and with the passion and with the salah, with two things. One is the sabr, second one is salah. So of course, sometimes, you know, we are human beings and very, very weak. And in everything we want, just happen now. Just happen now. We wish and then we want to happen. We have to have patience. Your duty is, or your responsibility is to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, seek help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then you have a patience. Then inshallah ta'ala, you will see the fruit of it. Sometime Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our supplication straight away, and we can see it. Sometime He delays. If He delays, there must be some reason. Like little kids, you know, ask, okay, I want this, and crying and crying. You know, this is not the time for him or her, for her. If I buy, and then what will happen? Will destroy me, will drop. So let become the age, so they can understand that this is a very expensive thing. So he or she can look after this. So this delay, there's a hikmah. If we do not see any acceptance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do not get upset. Say, okay, it is maybe some reason. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not accept now. The third thing is that sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't accept in this dunya. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts this for the hereafter. On the day of judgment, maybe you can see. There will be people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say to the malaika, okay, after the mizan, after the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put the all the deeds on the mizan, and then this man will need a lot of hasanat. Then he feel that this man will feel, maybe I'm going to lose today. I'll be the loser. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask the malaika, bring his du'as. And all the du'as, what he has done, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not accept in this dunya, and all the du'as will be changed to hasanat, the good deeds. And then because of these du'as, this man will be the, mashallah, winner, successful, and will get the success. And then he will wish on that day of judgment. He will say, if I wish this, no dua accept Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this dunya. No, 2 days, so I can get more reward. So that's the thing. So anyway, so we have to have patience. Very important. So perform by patience and by salah, we seek help. And inshallah ta'ala, help will come anyway. Sabr. Okay, very quickly I tell you, there are 3 types of sabr. 3 categories of sabr. One is as-sabru anil ma'asiyah. As-sabru anil ma'asiyah. Having patience from the ma'asiyah means the nafs and the desire wants to commit this sin, but you have patience saying, no, I'm not going to commit this. This is sabr anil ma'asiyah. Ma'asiyah means disobeying Allah. So you're not disobeying, you have patience. Number two, as-sabru fil musibah, having patience in the musibah, in the trial, in the difficulties. Financial problems, physical problems, mental problems, family problems, relative problems, this problem, that problem, different problems, physically or spiritually. We human beings got different problems, isn't it? So we have to have patience on it. In the musibah, we have a good job, and today we don't have any job. Up to yesterday, we used to earn thousands of dollars. Now no money. Have a patience. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ. It's happened. Have a patience. You got only one child, one son, for example. You depend on him. You think he is the one. When I become old, so he will help me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes him. He departs before father. Gone. So, وَالْأَنفُسِ. So he has to have patience on it. Peace from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So anyway, as-sabr fil musibah. And the third one is as-sabru ala ta'at. Having patience on the ta'at. Means you are very sick. You cannot afford to stand up and perform the salah. Okay? Cannot. But what you are doing? You fight yourself. Okay, you say, no, I'm going to say my prayers. Subhanallah. Ala ta'at. Any ta'at. Ta'at means obeying. So in obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have a patience. You do not care about your sickness. You do not care about other problems, you know. I will try my level best to fulfill the right of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I will try my level best. So anyway, so these are the sabr. So any sort of sabr, they come to our lifetime, so they have to have patience. Okay. And if we have a patience, then inshallah ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Baqarah, in part 2, وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ الَّذِينَ إِذَا أَصَابَتْهُمْ مُصِيبَةٌ. Give the good news to the sabirin, those who have patience. When the musibah come to them, any trial, any difficulties, qalu, they say, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. For this sort of people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them the certificate for the hidayah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them the mercy of Him. أُولَٰئِكَ عَلَيْهِمْ صَلَوَاتٌ مِّن رَّبِّهِمْ وَرَحْمَةٌ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُهْتَدُونَ. Okay? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says after this, وَإِنَّهَا لَكَبِيرَةٌ. Indeed, this prayer, this salah, so ha is referring to as-salah. So wa harfe ataf, inna harfe mushabba bil fa'il, ha is isim of inna. So indeed, it means refer to the salah. Lakabiratun. So very difficult, or very tough, very heavy. So performing the salah is not easy. And imagine you are may Allah protect you, very, very, very sick. Can't stand up. All body, you know, full with pain. And you're struggling. Okay? So of course, and then if someone asks you to pray, so you say, it's very hard for me. I will make up after qaza, isn't it? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, this is the lakabira. Indeed, this prayer is very difficult, very heavy. Illa, but except Allah, on al-khashi'in, those people, those who have the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this for them, no problem. They do not care about anything, any sickness. Time comes for salah, they pray. Nowadays, there are people in good health, For no reason they do not perform the salah. Busy in job, busy in this, busy in that. And you ask them to pray, oh, it's too difficult. And we don't have time. Very busy and working hard in the office, for a computer. Right? Spare time. How come I pray? How come I leave my all the things as it is? I have to finish this all typing and all the things. Then I pray. Make qaza. And they pray. They pray maybe after the time. So they're thinking and believing that the praying is very difficult. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, no, for the khashin, those people who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for them salah is the easiest thing for them. They enjoy the salah. They enjoy the salah. Haji Imdadullah Muhajiri Makki rahmatullah alayhi, subhanallah, he said this: on the day of judgment, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me this advantage or ask me something, that what do you want? What your wish? If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me this option, so I will ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I need only 2 meter place under your arsh, and I want to pray. That's it. आपके अर्श के साए के नीचे 2 गज जगह मिल जाए, बस वहां में खड़ा हो जाए नमाज के. This was the test of salah. Our akabirin, our mashayikh, they got. My sheikh, Mawlana Matlub Sahab Usmani Rahmatullah alayhi, my sheikh was saying about him. So he noticed sometime he was in very, very tough position. I mean, the health-wise. He couldn't move his body. But when the time the salah come, mashallah, he put his all the sickness on one side. He started praying. Like nothing happened, no sickness. So those people, they go to the test of salah. If we get the test of salah, subhanAllah, then we cannot afford to miss any salah. So now, who are the khashi'in, real khashi'in? Those who have the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alladina. This is the relative pronoun. Isme mawsul, lama muzakkar. Yadhunnuna, they believe. What they have believed. Basically, dhanna yazunna means they suspect. Suspect, basically, if we suspect to someone, that we use this is my zon, this is my suspect, this is my suspicious. But when you use this for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there's no yaqeen. Okay? With Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we do not suspect, we believe in that, we have a yaqeen in that. Okay? So that's why the translation is saying, believe. Okay? So there's basically these people who believe, any strong belief, annahum, indeed. See, annahum shabat will fail. So indeed, surely, whom they mulaqu will meet Rabbihim with their Lord, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they know that by performing the salah, they do not see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this dunya, but they're performing the salah with this belief that we are going to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So standing before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, making ruku to Him, sujood to Him, qu'ud to Him, say mashallah. So in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we do not see Him, but we have believed that inshallah we are going to meet Him. Tomorrow we are going to meet Him. But this, because of this khashin, they perform the salah. That's why, those people, they got the test of salah, mashallah. Some of them, they got the status of ihsan. Status of ihsan. This ihsan is an ta'budallaha ka'annaka tarahu. You are performing the salah like you are looking at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can imagine. You can imagine. The Sahaba, they got this test. They got this test, subhanAllah. One very famous story, maybe you know, the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam assigned two companions at night time to look after as a harasa. So they were doing the harasa, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, another companion, they were taking the rest. So one of them said to other companion, okay, you take rest. Okay, then when I get tired, I ask you to the rest of the night. Then you can get up and look after. So the Sahabi who was standing alone, and he was thinking that, what's the point just standing up? Why not I start praying? He started praying now. So from the enemy side, so one of the enemy thought he is the man standing. In real man was standing. And then he started throwing the arrows on him, a lot, to his body, from different part of body, and the blood was spreading from his body. But he was standing. He did not move his body. And the enemy thought, oh, this is not a man. And then he left. But anyway, the other companion, the other Sahabi, when he got up, he saw the blood flowing from his body. He said, what happened to you? Why didn't you ask me? Why didn't you ask me to get up and then I can help you? And when he finished the salah, he said to him that I was enjoying the salah. So I didn't realize the arrow came to my body. Nowadays, Allah माफ करे, मच्छर काटे ना तो नमाज में हमारा दिमाग खराब हो जाता है जी, ये क्या हो गया? You can see, subhanallah. They pray like this. They enjoy the salah. They enjoy the salah. So they know that they are going to meet Allah subhanahu. And the last thing I'm going to say here, see how the different Sahaba, they got the different tests of salah. Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, one night at Tahajjud time, he was performing the salah. In the ayah he was reciting, so no one can hear. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam sometimes used to stand up and check. Then he passed from Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, was trying to listen what he is saying. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam couldn't listen, couldn't understand what he is reciting. And he passed from Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he was reciting in Tahajjud loudly, opposite. And then Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed by Bilal radiallahu ta'ala anhu. He was reciting, but he was jumping from one ayah to another ayah, another ayah, different ayah, not in a like a sequence, just jumping. Then in the morning, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala, that was the status of Abu Bakr Siddiq. Abu Bakr Siddiq is Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala. His answer, that's the excellent answer. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Abu Bakr, what are you reciting? I was trying to listen from you, but I couldn't hear you. So he said, that's the answer. Asma'tu man najaytu. Asma'tu man najaytu. Basically, he was saying that I was talking to the one, the najwa means you're talking to someone, you're not loudly, you're talking to someone's ear, so no one can hear. इसको क्या कहते हैं आप लोग? Whisper जिसे कहते हैं. So he was so close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he is saying like this. And Umar radiallahu ta'ala asked, why you are reciting too loud? He said, لِأُوقِدَ النَّائِمَ وَأُدْرِيَ الشَّيْطَانِ. I want those people who are sleeping, I was asking them, get up from the bed. It's the time for prayer. And وَأُدْرِيَ الشَّيْطَانِ, and I want to make shaitan away. So that's why I was reciting loudly. And Prophet asked Hazrat Bilal radiallahu ta'ala, so why you are jumping from one ayah to another ayah? He said, I was jumping from one garden to another garden. This is the taste of the Sahaba. So, subhanallah. So, وَأَنَّهُمْ إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ, and then they believe that they, to him, raji'un, will return, they will return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, we stop here. Subhanakallah wa bihamdika wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.